you know, I do these book recordings in my room. Well, it's my office, it's my room, but you know what I'm saying. It's not my bedroom, but it's my office. It's not my studio. Just to be a little bit more casual, but I know the sound and the lighting isn't quite as good, but we're going on to the next short chapter of the morality of capitalism. So, are you ready? Of course you're ready. This was a very short chapter, but had some great stuff in it. And the title is Political and Economic Freedoms Together Spawn. That's a word we need to use more often. Spawn, Humanity's Miracles by Temba A. And there's no way in the world I'm going to pronounce this name properly. Nolutungu. Close enough. In this essay, the South African economist Temba A. Nolutungu draws from his country's recent history to distinguish majority rule, which was won after decades of struggle against minority monopolization of power, from freedom, and shows the liberating potential of economic freedom. And there is really, really some great insights in here. So I'm going to read some paragraphs that we're going to piece together, and I think it will give you the flavor of this section. But so good. In July 1794, Maximilien Robespierre, revolutionary Republican, radical Democrat, and driving force behind the reign of terror in revolutionary France, during which some 40,000 French men and women died on the guillotine as enemies of the nation, was put to death by his political opponents. Moments before his death, he addressed the mob that used to adulate him, but now was baying for his blood. That's a turn of phrase. With the following words: I gave you freedom. Now you want bread as well. And with that ended the reign of terror. The moral we can draw from this is that while there may be a link between political freedom and economic well-being, they are not the same thing. Job creation is not a role of the state. When I visited post-communist Russia and Czechoslovakia in 1991, the joke doing the rounds was that the workers pretended to work and the government pretended to pay them. So, in going between private enterprise and public job works, he says, let's examine the principles that underlie the simplest of exchanges between two parties. Simple transactions can serve as an example and a microcosm of the bigger economy. They should inform policymakers as to which policies are most compatible with human nature, because the human factor is pivotal in the economic context. Start far back in time with a hypothetical caveman who is skilled at hunting but inexpert at making a weapon for hunting. Our caveman meets a skilled weapon maker and agrees to exchange part of his quarry for a weapon. Both men come away from the transaction feeling they have profited by getting in return something of greater value to them than what they gave away. Sooner or later, the weapon maker finds that if he specializes in weapon making, instead of going hunting, he can barter the weapons for fur, meat, ivory, and so on. He is in business. He prospers, and all his customers prosper because they are now using more efficient hunting weapons. What is important to note about this scenario is that there is no force or fraud involved. There is no third-party involvement. Now, here's something that I think libertarians need to understand. The persistent work ethic myth warrants critical attention. This view implicitly reinforces national or ethnic group stereotypes in terms of having or lacking a work ethic, the logical extension of which is that the poor are poor because they lack a work ethic, and the rich are more successful because they do have one. A very dangerous view to uphold, especially when it coincides with race. Now, here's the example. because unfortunately we have libertarian brutalists in this movement, and I'm being kind in calling them that rather than the more accurate racists. Here is a counter example to all their nifty little charts and sayings and their clever uses of the 14 words. Before the Berlin Wall came crashing down in 1989, West Germany was the second biggest economy in the world, while East Germany was an economic disaster zone. These were the same people, same culture, and the same families in some cases before they were divided after World War II. A similar judgment can be made with regard to the two Koreas. The South, an economic giant, and the North, an economic abyss that continues to absorb foreign aid. Again, same people, same culture. And what of the contrast between mainland China and Hong Kong before 1992 when Deng Xiaoping ushered in radical free market reforms after announcing that it was glorious to be rich and that it didn't matter if the cat was black or white as long as it caught mice? Yet again, same people, same culture, and the same telltale economic discrepancies. The difference was caused every time by the degree of freedom allowed to the economic actors. In other words, the degree to which governments allow individuals to exercise economic freedom will determine their economic outcome. Now, of course, individually, there are some people who lack a work ethic and some people who have a stronger one. But these are individual judgments, not group judgments. Okay, next section is going to be section 4, Globalizing Capitalism. Let's see, as I like it to do, how long the next section is so we can get ready. Oh, it's another short one, and I like these little short ones. We get them done quickly. Pippity-poppity, hippity-hoppity, get off my property. All right, that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed it.